The Dayton Flyers picked up multiple wins last week on the hardwood. Women's basketball celebrated senior night with maybe their best win of the season, beating St. Joseph's 74-65. Ricky Harris led the way with 16 points, and Jada Johnson came off the bench to score a career-high 14 points on 4 made threes. The Flyers finished the regular season with a 67-57 win at St. Bonaventure on Saturday. UD, 25 of 28 from the foul line, and Ariana Smith recorded another double-double. The senior from Columbus, Ohio, became the all-time leader in offensive rebounds for a season and a career last week. Nani on Monday was named Atlantic 10 Player of the Week, and the Flyers will be the 6th seed at the A10 Championships, which start Wednesday in Virginia. Men's basketball picked up a win Wednesday night at Rhode Island, 85-77. 4 Flyers were in double figures, and Dayton shot 91% from the foul line, going 21 of 23 from the stripe. In a tight game on Saturday, UD needed double overtime to pick up win number 20 on the year as they beat the Richmond Spiders 74-64. Enoch Cheeks had a double-double, 18 points and 11 rebounds. Nate Santos added 18 points and 8 boards. The Flyers are 20-9 on the season, 10-6 in the Atlantic 10. Dayton baseball picked up 4 wins last week, including a sweep over Bradley. After falling to NKU on Tuesday, the Flyboys bounced back with wins against Bellarmine on Wednesday, Bradley Friday, and then 2 wins Sunday against the Braves. Dayton softball had a 3-win weekend at the Eastern Kentucky Colonel Classic. UD took both games against UIC. They split their weekend matchup versus Akron, and they closed out the weekend a 5-2 loss to EKU. Men's tennis 3-0 last week and have now won 9 straight. The men scored victories against Thomas More, Omaha, and Kentucky Wesleyan. And congratulations to head coach Ryan Meyer, who also picked up his 165th career win at UD. He's now the all-time leader. Women's tennis split their weekend with a win over Southern Indiana and a loss to Miami of Ohio. And Dayton Track and Field competed at the A10 Indoor Championships Friday and Saturday in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Charlotte Dines jumped on the podium to finish 3rd in the long jump. It was a big weekend for Jaden Haywood, who finished 2nd in both the 60-meter and 200-meter finals. The junior from Dayton set the school record in the 200 for Friday and Saturday. Cameron Thompson also made a trip to the podium by finishing 3rd in the high jump. This week, we step back on the hardwood with men's basketball assistant James Kane, who shares how he got into coaching and his terrific history in coaching future NBA guards.
Yeah, growing up, I just loved the game of basketball. Played outdoors, played in the parks. I grew up a Miami Hurricane in South Florida. Found out that Miami was a private school, so I went to the University of Florida. Became a Gator. Loved Gator Nation, and that's where I wanted to still be part of a team. I didn't want to lose that aspect of my life, like not being part of a team. So I got involved heavily with intramurals. And then, I got involved with the women's basketball team at Florida under Carolyn Peck. She took me in under her wing, and she took care of me, and I became a practice player for her, worked in the office, and I was able to stay around basketball during my college time there.
And just in like the office space of being in the building, you cross paths with an assistant for the men's side, and Anthony Grant. And that's kind of a game changer for you and where you went in your coaching career.
Yeah, meeting him was probably the best thing that ever happened in my life in terms of just getting around the right people, being able to learn from him. My senior year, we met each other, spoke to him in his office. He helped me with a couple things I was trying to get involved with as an internship once I graduated from Florida. And, we stayed connected, built a relationship, and, from the grace of God, I came back to Florida and I ran into him in the back stairwell when he was cleaning out his office to to go to VCU because he just became the head coach at VCU, and we started talking, him and his wife Chris. I remember like it was yesterday, and you know, he's able to give me an opportunity to follow him to VCU, and that was about 20 years ago. So I've known him for 20 years, and you know, it goes beyond basketball with him. He's family for life, and you know, I'll be always indebted to him, you know, for everything he has done for me.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you're thinking about your master's, and then this opportunity comes about, and then it's a quick trip to Richmond, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think back. I went back to the University of Florida to the plan was to get my master's. You know, got that opportunity from Coach. Got my master's at VCU Sport Leadership with Doc Sanders, but you know, it happened so quickly that when he told me to make the move or to come up there, I just packed everything in my car, and I literally didn't have a place to stay. You know, that I didn't know where I was staying that night. Called Brett Nelson, one of my good buddies in this business. He was the director of basketball at that time, and Brett was like, "Hey, we'll just figure it out." You know, I had probably a 6-hour drive. You know, so I was like, "We'll figure it out." On the way up there, and fortunately I was able to find a place to stay that night, and then Coach got me situated after that.
Oh, to be young. At VCU, one guard that I always really valued, and being a basketball fan, was Eric Maynor. And you have so many guards that you've been able to work with. It's really an incredible list. And mention Eric and what he was, and a fantastic player. And then Murray State and Cameron Payne and John Morant. And of course, Flyer fans know of Jalen Crutcher, Tyrese Halliburton, in your stop at Iowa State. Is there something that you look for in particular when you're on that recruiting trail and trying to find a guard? And does it come from some of those amazing players that you've been able to coach?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I've been very blessed to be around those type of players, those guards. You know, learning from each and every one of them has helped me grow in my career. In terms of looking for specific things that a point guard has, you know, the number one thing I would say is competitive nature. And then, do they make people around them better? So, you know, each and every one of those point guards with Maynor, Isaiah Cannon, Cameron Payne, Ja, Crutch, and Hallie, you know, they're all different. They're all different, and a lot of it's luck to be around those type of guys. But then, you know, you're not taking full advantage of the opportunity if you're not learning from them. So, you know, I would just say, just the intangibles of being a leader, being an energy guy. You know, a lot of them had those qualities, and it's what makes them great. So, you know, if you come down to my man cave at home, it's pretty, you know, if you sit back and watch, you know, I just got a couple jerseys and pictures. I mean, I've been truly blessed being part of their lives, and they've helped me tremendously.
This entire interview will be available on Thursday at noon on Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube channel at Dayton Flyers. The week starts tonight at UD Arena when the men take on St. Louis at 7 o'clock. It's a busy week for baseball, with action starting today at Bellarmine, 2 o'clock first pitch. Wednesday, the Flyers will take on Bowling Green at home, 3 o'clock. And this weekend, they'll play 3 against Bryant at AES Ohio Stadium and Warner Field. Friday, first pitch at 3, Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon. Softball, only one game this week. It's their home opener, which will be Wednesday at 3 when they face the Miami Redhawks. Thursday, women's basketball will play the A-10 Championships at 7:30 against either VCU or LaSalle. Men's basketball closes out their regular season on Friday night at VCU with a 7 o'clock tip. Women's tennis is in action on Friday when they take on IU Indy at home, a 2 o'clock start. For more information on Dayton Athletics, visit DaytonFlyers.com and follow us on social media at Dayton Flyers.